What's up, guys? Welcome back to the New Elite podcast. We have a new Elite member with us, Fabian, also known as Fight Gecko, good friend of mine, and an incredible entrepreneur and fight coach who focuses on showing successful entrepreneurs that until you've unlocked the ability to fight, you have so much left to learn in your life, and you can't unlock true success without the backbone of martial arts. So I guess to introduce my audience to you, Fabian, what is your story and how did you start on this journey of getting into martial arts and how has it changed your life?
So basically, hello everyone first. Thank you, Jack, for the introduction.
You're very welcome.
Basically, I had, I would say a pretty hard childhood because I was an immigrant. My parents are from Romania. I grew up in Austria. And yeah, you know, if you're the outsider, you're the foreigner. And I was very small also. I'm now very tall, but I was the smallest guy. It's like life, right? You get shit on yourself all the time. So when I was small, I couldn't defend myself. And I always was bullied also. Obviously, I also bullied other people back, but from the stronger guys, I got bullied. And I never knew how to defend myself. And there was this one time in school, I think I was 13 or 14, still the smallest kid, where this one motherfucker, he fucked me up so much, he annoyed me so much that I was Googling, what does it mean to knock somebody out? Why am I afraid like this? So I started researching, and then basically I realized it's not about the muscles, it's not about the height, it's about who hits the punch first in the right timing. And that's where I got my confidence from it, and I just said to myself, the next time this motherfucker says something, I go up and punch him. And this is exactly what I did. And see there, once I established myself, once I showed I know you can fuck with other people, but not with me, then he let me alone, right? The problem was with this, I thought then that with strength and just beating somebody up, you can solve your problems. So basically, then I used this confidence to make shit, to become a bad person, and I started fights. I went out, always, every second weekend I had street fights. Some are won, some are lost. Basically, every time you street fight, you lose all the time because there is no winner in street fights. But yeah, then I also got the karma back, right? I beat somebody up, but then I got my nose broken. I beat somebody up again, I got my jaw broken. Basically, I had 10 operations, all from street fights. Yeah, everything was broken. But it was always my fault. I put myself into this position. And why did I put myself into this position? Because from a deep inside, I knew I'm an insecure motherfucker and that I'm an insecure guy. So I needed to prove to other people that I'm not that, right? Because if you're strong, you don't need to prove. If you meet me now, I will never make trouble. If somebody comes to me and wants to make stress in a club, I say, brother, no problem, man, you're the boss, I don't want to fight you. I can put my complete ego down because I know one punch, I fucking break something or you die or something. So yeah, the story was, I was a small kid, I got shit on myself all the time. I decided to beat him up, then I took the wrong confidence out of it, become a bad person. And then at 21, I decided, I saw this one world champion in my city. I decided, let's go into the gym and beat these guys also up. And then came the first lesson, because I always was in the clubs with the strongest guys. So then obviously nobody could beat me there. But then I thought, okay, let's go in the gym, fuck these people also up. And then I realized, bro, you're nothing. You have no fucking chance, no matter how strong you think you are. If you haven't trained, you have no chance against anybody. And I remember this geek coming in with the glasses, and I thought, who the fuck is that guy? I had no chance. I got one low kick, I had to go home. I couldn't walk for 3 weeks from one kick. And that's where I realized, fuck, there are levels to the game. I got humbled. I went back, I think even second training, nose broken. Again, I got beat up all the time. So all the shit I did to other people, I got paid back in the gym. And yeah, but still I continued. I had the drive. I wanted to become a champion. And then after 5 months, I went to my first fight. And then I got the biggest lesson, because everybody was there, my friends, my family, my ex-girlfriend. And I was very dedicated. So I was in my gym, I was one of the best guys. It looks good on the pads. But still, I took the fight. I was 20 years, my opponent was 30 years. I was 70 kilos, my opponent was 80 kilos. Still had the ego. I thought, let's go and break him, and with this aggressive mindset, and I will beat him up. But you should never have in martial arts. You should also always respect him and always be a little bit scared and afraid, and always be aware of your emotion and control yourself. I was just a stupid kid 10 years ago. Now I'm 30 years old. And then I went in, first round, bam, exposed all my energy, got my battery down to 0%. And then second round, I realized, second round, he came in, I had no energy left. And then I got kicked and kicked and kicked and over again. And then I realized after the fight, once I laid in my hospital, with this basically wound here. I almost died. I got double rib fractures. The ribs broke into my lung. The lung collapsed. So I had artificial aspiration thing into myself, if that makes sense. And then I had time to think about what the fuck happened. And then I realized, bro, in all these 5 months in the gym, nobody told me how to block a kick even. I just hit the pads and and sparring. But nobody told me strategy. Nobody told me how to counter. Nobody told me what the fuck I'm doing, how to use the strategy. Basically zero fight IQ. And yeah, that was then my downfall also. But again, everything deserved, because what you give, you get back. I was a shitty person. I got back shitty situations. And then, yeah, my big downfall starting doing lots of shit stuff, illegal stuff.
And that came from after the injury, right?
After the injury,
after
yes, because my dream of the becoming a champion was broken, right? At 21, then I was in hospital. I should never fight again. Normally, it's very dangerous, right? Once you have this injury, it can happen with a higher probability again.
Yep.
So I should never fight again, never train again. Okay, I stopped training, started doing bunch of shit, drinking, gambling, and all the other bunch of stuff. And then my big downfall began, because then I started chasing money. I tried lots of stupid things, because basically the dream was broken, but I still didn't want it to have a normal life. That was for sure. I hated the average. I hated being average. I just wanted to escape from this life. I really hated from this life the people put me in, from this normal life, working and hanging out with average people. But I had no one in my surroundings, or the only solution I saw was gambling at the time and playing poker. So I tried it there. Drunk every day to keep myself up and doing lots of other stuff you can imagine. And then my big downfall began. For 4 years, I did this repeated beat. My body got broken down. My mindset was broken. And at 25, I found myself getting kicked out of my flat in the worst physical condition of my life. 15 kilograms less than I have yet. Mentally broken.
15 kilos less than you are
65
now.
kilos on my head. Now I'm 80.
Oh, we know what you were doing.
Yeah, fucking skinny man, mentally broken. Couldn't get myself out of bed until 6, 7 p.m. because I almost peed in my pants. That depressed I was. And yeah, once I lost basically really everything, couldn't even have internet in my phone to distract myself. And I had to move into my old friend's room to survive basically. It's not that I almost died. I would have my parents, but there would be no chance I go back to my parents at 25 and say, Mom, I lost everything. I have not a single penny. So I had to go to the friend. And then this was really the most painful thing ever, where I lost all my dreams, all my ego, everybody. I have built this dangerous person outside where the people were scared. All these girls I had, because I had never problems with girls, right? If you're strong and confident, but it was just a fake facade around myself. I built a fake personality to think to be somebody that other people like me. So there was no fucking confidence. Everything was fake, to show that I'm not this small, beaten up guy from the childhood. And yeah, that's really where I started changing my life. I was 26 years old, like I said, not a single cent.
Can you remember where that exact change happened? Because you were in a big cycle for 4 years. That's a very difficult place to bring yourself out of.
Brother, when you have nothing and you can't distract yourself, then you have time to think.
So it's the phone going.
Everything was gone. I had nothing.
As soon as the phone couldn't distract you anymore,
yes,
then you started to think. And can you remember what you thought back then?
Yeah, I thought either I stop now living or I fucking turn this fucking life around. And I knew that if I want to get outside things, if I want to become successful, if I want to change my mindset, I need to change one thing. Get back into fucking training. And that was the moment that I started training again. But this time I made one big switch. I didn't went to the gym where I knew. Basically, I learned nothing. I learned how to almost die because I never even learned how to defend my kicks. I started researching the internet and bought later I bought all the courses once I have money. But first I took all the free information, how to shadowbox, and I went outside every fucking morning. 2021, it's 4 years now ago. Every morning I committed myself to one thing. I lost basically everything, but once I have left, I have myself. So every morning, 5 a.m., 10 minutes was my commitment every single day, going outside shadowbox.
5 a.m.
5 a.m.
What's the power of an early morning?
It was just that it's hard thing that I wanted to destroy my old version. Now I'm a night owl, right? But now I don't fuck my life with all the other stuff.
Would you go back to being at 5 a.m., man? Because there's a bit of, I find there's some nobility in it. There's a romantic fucking struggle in it because I've just started again.
Yeah.
In like I'm doing about 5:30 wake ups.
Yeah.
I find because when your life becomes easier, then we should make it hard again, right?
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. And for sure, there is one thing with it that you do it. For me right now, just I'm functioning a little bit crazy. I like being awake at night alone. There is somehow where I can think creative because my life is very stressful.
Well, you either get your peace time as a night owl for guys like us, very energetic and very outgoing extroverts, and we either get our peace time for us, our solo time, very early in the morning or very late at night.
Yeah.
And I'm the same because the rest of our hours we fill with work and success and all those sorts of things. But coming back to your story and how you pulled yourself out of that. So you started doing your shadow boxing every day. 5 a.m. you woke up. What did that instill in you over that time?
It instilled a little belief back in myself because once you basically lose everything at 25 and have 50,000 euros of fucking debt, bro, I fucked myself up, right? So I didn't have any belief, any trust in myself. So just this small routine brought my discipline back.
Very small thing.
My belief back that I can do it. And I knew I can do it. I just worked on the fucking wrong stuff all the time. But I realized everything starts with me. And if you want to have a strong mind, you need to have a strong body. It's all connected, right?
I think this is so important because there'll be guys listening to this now that are in a similar place, that are in a dark, dark place in their lives. And that one bit of advice to just start super, super small. How did you start so small and then start to work on your debt? Because debt's a thing that guys get really concerned about.
Well, look, I knew when I have 50,000 euros in debt, and even I take a job and save $1,000, then I live like a broke here and need to 50 months to fucking pay the debt back. So I knew I must become exceptional to get exceptional results. I knew I will never go back to work. I must make myself so good that I'm in a physical and mental condition to start a business. I make myself so good that I can talk to people trust in me, and that I can sell high-ticket stuff, for example, right? Then I started my social media agency afterwards, once I built my trust. And I didn't even have a camera. I had no study. I had no idea how to use it. I bought a $50 course. I went to the companies and sold contract after contract after contract because of the trust in myself, right? Because they believed in myself and I believed again back into me. And it all came with martial arts. If I wouldn't have martial arts, I would be broken. But martial arts, the training, just build it myself. And it's different to every other fucking sport. Playing golf, football, even gym, you go, you look strong. With martial arts, it does something with you, which is very special. Mental, but it's also a meditation. It's like Bruce Lee says, it's flow like water. You learn to flow with all the movements. You can shut off your mind. It's a form of meditation, which calmed me down once I did it. And out of this 10 minutes became 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours. Don't get me wrong, I slipped back, I started drinking. Next time I woke up, I did just 10. It was so hard. But I always had the bounce back. Because there is this saying, you will never achieve your highest dreams, but only your lowest standards. And this is what I learned. I was 50,000 euros in debt. I bought another 7,000 euro business course for Amazon FBA. I made zero fucking money because I had no money. How do you want to build an Amazon business with no money? I didn't even knew this. That stupid I was. But I learned these mental principles. I learned to implement a new fucking software into my mind, and this was one of them. You never achieve your highest dreams, always your lowest standards. So my lowest fucking standard is shadowbox still to today, every day, 10 minutes. Even though I could train 3 hours, I have still the lowest standards, and this will always bounce me back, right? Or a lowest standards, always be good to people, always do something good, implement something good to somebody, plant positive seeds, and these are lowest standards. So whatever area you want to improve, and you told me today I want to improve my social media presence, my lowest standard should be now 10-minute speaking video every fucking day, and I will implement it from next Tuesday.
Yeah, because you guys can see Fabian has a way of talking and stories and a life that's been well lived. So for the guy that you're 18, 19, 20, even 25, you've probably, for most people, not lived the kind of experience that someone like Fabian has. So my piece of advice to Fabian was, take that personality and gift it to the world and talk about it every day. And that's what really launched my career and could launch, like you said, a fight career and becoming good at any skill is that little 10 minutes every day. And I think your lowest, you fall to your...
The thing is, it's not about... Everybody wants to become a fighter from the beginning. How should I do to train to fight? But nobody can discipline themselves to do 90 days, 10 minutes. And in a world where everybody gets distracted and gives up, all you really need is do one skill 10 minutes. Because I fucking promise you, from 1,000 people, 2 people can do 90 days, one thing over and over and over and over again. That's so nice. You don't need to do much. You just need to never stop.
And you know the days when it feels really hard and you don't want to do it and you do it? I have a way of thinking about these days now, that they are the days that kill my competition. So every time I'm in struggle or in a bad place and I think, fuck, this is hard, this is a difficult business, or this is difficult to make content, I kind of smile and I think, but I'm still going to do it, and this means someone else got cancelled out today.
But also, if you have too much of a goal, let's say, because, brother, I wanted to become a world champion. I said myself, every day 2 trainings. I keep it up 10 days, 11th day you can't do it.
Yeah,
it's too big, small. Too much friction, right? So again, to be honest, if you ask yourself, would you be like to be a fighter if I can transfer my skills to you? Every man would be yes. I want to learn to fight. I want to become confident. I want to know how to defend my family and my loved ones. If you don't believe like this, you're basically not a man, in my opinion. But everybody would like to do it. But why don't they do it? Because the friction is too big in their mind. They think they need to go every day, 3 hours training, get the nose broken. What happened exactly to me? It doesn't need to be like that. We will come to that back in a moment.
Yeah.
But if you just reframe your mindset, if you just train 10 minutes every day for 6 months, you will be stronger than 99% of people. Because most people can't stick to 10 minutes for 6 months, right? And if you then implement the right training with the right feedback and you have accountability, it's exactly how my coaching works. 3 points, right?
Yeah.
You do the right things, you get it analyzed, and you do it over and over again. You have somebody who keeps you accountable. It's straightforward. It's 1 + 1 + 1 + 1. Even not, it's exponential. Because if you become 1% better every day, you start at 1, okay? And you become 1% better, it's 37.8 times the result. So you can put in a calculator 1.01, height, I don't know how it's called, 365. It's you become 38 times better by doing 1%. What do most people do? They do too much. They go from 1 to 3 to 7, they stop.
Yeah.
1 to 3 to 10, they stop. 1 to 4, they stop. And you get 1% better, 1% better. After 1 year, 37.8 times better. Whatever skill you want to do, but obviously, it doesn't matter what you want to achieve in life. Martial arts is like the secret cheat code for that. You want to have more women? Women love confident, strong men. You want to get better in business, make more sales? People buy from people who look good and are strong and confident.
And not to mention the discipline that you need to win in business is your training ground is martial arts. And I think you're right. People try so hard to do it all at once. And I've been the same before. My rule for myself now is, if I can't do this every day for the rest of my life, then why am I doing it today?
Yes.
I would like to live my life and set up my life so I could do it every day and enjoy it. That's the point. Because the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, the time that you're completely finished and you get to relax, that never comes. And we only have today and tomorrow and yesterday, and that's about as far as we can think about. Really, we only have right now.
You have just right now. There is no future, there is no past. It's an illusion. The future you can create however you want. The past are the stories we tell ourselves. So most people are hold back, also me, of course, and you in some areas. But basically, if we take all our memories away, what is left? No, nothing. You can become whatever you want.
From now.
From now.
From the click of a finger.
You can just become it now. You can just start now. And the sum of the next 90 days defines who you are right now. The Fabian now is the sum of the last years. The Jack now is the sum of the last years. Also our crazy personality, why we vibe so together. We have similar story.
Yeah.
It's still a part of us, but it gets reprogrammed over and over and over again. And so can you. If you're not fit, if you don't look good, or even if you look good and you are in the gym, but you can't fight and you know it. You just hide your weakness behind the muscles. But if it comes down, you're still a pussy. Good. You can still change it. Implement martial arts training. Whatever you want to do.
You can always change. It's never too late. And it's never too late.
Change.
Even I tell this to myself now, even if you've made it somewhere, even if you've gotten good, even if you're winning more than you've ever won before, there's no reason why you can't continue to get better. The continuous improvement of man it's the most beautiful thing that we can do.
And I like to see, I learned it from Ray Dalio, a billionaire. look at the nature to see how life works. Nothing stands still. The water flows, the plant grows, the plant dies. That's how we work. You can't stand still. There is no standing still. You either get worse or you get better.
Yeah.
So the goal is to get better. And now comes back to my philosophy, because don't think I live like a fucking monk and I do everything perfect. No, it's the other thing. I go out on the weekends, but I do more of the good than the bad. That's my rule, my principle. If I go out 3 times, I must train 4 times. But I never go out 4 times and just train 3 times. I eat 4 times clean, I can eat 3 times shit. Not optimal, but on the long run, even though I do it, I still am fit, I still can fight, I still am confident, because I do more of the good than the bad, because I understand how the universe works. Either you grow or you die.
Yeah.
And I always look that I grow a little bit. Obviously, on the good days, I grow like this. But then I bounce on my bad days, I still need to grow more than I do not.
The reason people don't want to start things, the reason why people don't want to change their lives is because it feels too difficult. It feels too hard because they feel like they've got to be everything right now rather than just a little bit better.
And that's human psychology if you study it. We do everything not to get the life better, just to stay the same. It's human psychology. But that's the funny thing. Once you understand, most people don't understand how their own system works, right? We get to learn how the computer works, how to play the game, how to make the GTA cheat codes. That's what we learn all the time. But to learn our system works from the nature itself, nobody get taught. So if you understand that everything, and for everybody, everything you start new is always hard, and you know it and you're prepared, like for a fight. I wasn't prepared for my fight. I did just a bunch of shit. If I went now on my second fight, I was very much prepared. I knocked him out in the first round. So if you're prepared and you understand the system, again, it comes back to the lowest standards. You know it will be hard, and that's why you have the lowest standards in place, and you just do 5 minutes of the training, just do 5 sales calls, just do 5 push-ups, just do 5 approaches, whatever, or 1, even fucking 1. Start with 1, because you understand that the change will be hard. You understand that you'll never achieve your highest dreams, but your lowest standards. So you're prepared, okay? Let's implement a nice lowest standards, and then by itself, after you do it 20, 30, 40 days, you will become obsessed, because the body, it's again the same principle. You want to do what you always do, but then you did the new thing over and over, and then you do it by yourself. And that's the cheat code. And that's why, again, with my clients, I don't give them, go 2 hours training 6 times a week. Train 3 times a week, 20 minutes. Can you do, Jack, 1 hour a week if you want to learn boxing?
Yes.
1 hour a week.
Yes.
That's the point. If you commit to 1 hour a week and you do it consistently, after 4 or 5 fucking weeks, you will not recognize yourself, because then you do 2 and 3 and 4.
And myself included, we sometimes think things have to take so much of our time. So for me, when I was doing a fight camp, it took me 2-3 hours a day, every day. I was so angry at fighting after that period of time, I didn't even want to do it anymore.
Because you didn't enjoy it, but the point is also, even though you invested all this time, you still lost.
Yeah.
But again, that comes back to just being smart.
Yeah.
I just told you before, I like to do little things and get the maximum result. In crypto, everybody wants to invest $100 and get 100,000, right? But why don't you do it with the life? Why you do hours of training for nothing, no results? Why you do hours of work for no money?
Yeah.
I want to do little work and get the maximum out. And that's how I think in business. That's how I think in training, right? I don't want to fucking give all my life away. I will never become a professional fighter again.
What do you think the most important thing to focus on in a fight camp is when learning martial arts? For example, with my fight, you've seen it. What went wrong there?
Okay.
How could I have trained and prepared for that better?
The most important thing to understand is that everybody were individuals. So what most coaches do wrong is they teach what worked for them for everybody else. That's the first thing, okay? So you must first understand at which level you are. If I do 300 grand in business and my student does 3K and I do it with ads and funnels, this approach won't work for him to scale. I must think back, what brought me from 3 to 20, for example. The same first in the fight camp. I can't say what you should do, because I must analyze you. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And that's exactly how we work. And that's why all my students win now, because I took all my learnings from my losses, and I want to be the coach which I never had. I want to take care of the student, analyze him, see exactly at which level he is, and I will never send somebody in the ring when I know he's not ready, just to prove somebody else or make money out of it. That's just how corrupt the fight game is. Sending the people into the ring when they're not ready, telling them wrong shit, teaching them wrong shit. They don't even realize. Most people are just stupid or ignorant, or they just don't give a fuck. They're selfish. So when we now want to go into the next fight camp and we want to get you a win, first I will analyze you. We will train 1 week. I will let you try different things out. I will give you hard things to do, easy things to do, just to see where you're at. And then we will make a plan. Jack, here are your weaknesses. Here are your strengths. Let's find ways to turn these weaknesses around into average things. Let's find more ways to amplify your strengths. And then, once you have the basics, because we start with basics, for example, in my coaching, we have 5 levels. The first 1, 2 levels, and that's again where everybody is wrong. Everybody who goes to I train boxing since 3 years, I hear. What do you train? Yeah, I do 2 times sparring. Then I spar them. They can't even fucking hit me. Why? Do you build the 5th level of the tower if you haven't built the foundation? It will break down. I don't build the balcony before I build the foundation. Why does everybody goes immediately into the 5th floor in sparring? Because that's how they know. Because nobody knows how to train. So you need to build a proper foundation. And what's the foundation in martial arts? Movement and footwork. I can have hundreds combinations, the strongest punch. If you don't position yourself at the right spot, at the right time, you will never hit me. So if I have just 1 punch, which is good, my right uppercut, and I know how to position myself to hit this uppercut, I win with 1 punch. You can fuck all of your combinations out of the window. So before my students start even put on the gloves, we work on the footwork, on the movement, on the flow. Because I understand the most important is the positioning, the weight distribution, the control of your body. If you can't control the technique in shadowboxing, how you want to control the technique in a fight? It's not possible. But still everybody goes either to sparring or punches the fucking bag with wrong technique, hurts their wrists, have the wrong distance management.
Gets hurt sparring.
Gets hurt, stops because it's hard, because they work on the wrong level.
Because they get beaten up a lot.
That's the point.
No one
and
wants
everybody,
to get beaten up much.
That's unfortunately the truth, because fighters have normally a big ego. I really love to teach. I never want to hurt my student because I know how it hurts. I know how it is to have 10 operations. I know how it is how to almost die in front of your fucking family. I would never want it for my student. So I want to be the coach who takes care of my students, who gives them the right training, the right challenge at the right time.
Yeah.
But if you're a beginner,
it's slowly grow them.
It's not the time for you to get a nose broken or to get a low kick that you can't walk 3 weeks.
What do you think about that style of training? Because pretty much everywhere I've trained, in boxing, in MMA, I've trained Muay Thai. Actually, Muay Thai in Thailand was a little bit different. They would take it very easy on you. Actually, that was quite good. But in the UK, definitely training in MMA gyms and boxing as well. It's always been, if you're new, you get beat the fuck up. Like,
Stupid.
Bad.
Why would I do that? Why would I do that?
Do you think there's a place for that? When do you put your students through hard sparring, for example?
When you're ready to fight. When you're I'll give you the exact example. We have a system which consists out of 8 levels. Level 1 is footwork and balance and movement. You can do footwork without crossing your feet. You can have balance. You can move your upper body without looking awkward. Good. Single punches. Can you walk with the jab? Can you walk with the hooks? Can you walk sidewards, forward, and backwards? And you remember I did a new elite training.
Yeah.
You were pretty good, but still at some point
I can
you got
do
stuck
it
at level 2, brother,
Yeah.
from the basics, and you had a fight.
A pro fight as well.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid. Then we have passive defense. Do you know how to defend against all the 6 punches? Do you know how to proper parry, block, slip, roll, lean back, body block? Do you know that? Most people don't know. Then we come to the connected punches. Do you know how to throw 3 straights without falling over or getting wobbly? Most people don't know. Then we come, do you know combinations? Do you know what makes a good combination? That it's rhythm, it's level change, it's angle change. Do you know that? Most people don't know if you ask the most fighters. Then comes active defense, which is countering. Do you know how to counter a right hook properly? Do you know how to counter a jab properly? Do you know how to counter uppercut properly? Most people don't know. Then we get into level 7, feint attacks. Do you know how to prepare your attacks that your opponent, that you don't waste your energy? Most people go into one to kill, and they spar me, I just use my feet, and after 1 minute they're dead. I haven't even thrown a punch.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah,
Fabian told me we were having breakfast outside before this podcast, and we're doing some mentorship for the new elite because Fabian just joined us, and Fabian said to me, never let your battery as a fighter go below 30%. And I think of it like if you're playing zombies or something, COD 6, and you're using a gun, and there's some guns on there, they charge down. And if you get to 0, your gun takes like 10 seconds to recharge. Same in fighting, right? You're 10 seconds, you got no defense.
If you go to 0 and fighting, you're fucked. You need 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you're dead. Then this happens. That happened to me.
And that's exactly what happened to me. I took my battery so far down because I was so anxious about knocking out or going so crazy that I took my battery down to 0, and then that allows you to be knocked out. It allows people to open up your defense. And
just to go back to the levels, the 8th level, and because I want to give maybe also a lot of value to the audience. I don't know if you put a B-roll in, or maybe, I don't know, you send them to my profile and then they can ask me if they want. But the goal with the basics, and remember, we still haven't put the fucking gloves on. We still have, all I talked before, until the feint attacks, we still first need to learn to control it without hitting something. Because if I can't control myself, I can for sure not control the opponent. Makes sense, or?
Yeah.
So the goal is in level 8 that we put a fighting scenario together. And the fighting scenario I created with my business partner, Marcel Montana-Rumpler, one of the best boxers in Austria. He's in my team. We are working together.
Awesome guy. There's an Instagram reel of me and Montana sparring on my Instagram.
Shout out Montana. He liver shotted you.
At the, where were we?
Palm.
The Palm, yeah.
Yeah. He liver shotted you.
That's the first time we met, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a video of me and Montana. That was good fun.
Yeah, and he comes from the Olympics, right? Professional boxing is basically all a scam in the show. It's all about money, marketing, which is nice, right? I want to be in the professional boxing business. I want to make money. I want to become rich, obviously. But the real fighters are more in the amateurs in the Olympics, because there you have just 3 rounds in 3 minutes, which means you have 9 minutes time to win the fight. And 9 minutes time, if you're trained properly, there are not that many knockouts happen because they are very professional. So you need to have a process how to approach all of that. And in level 8, again, back to the system, how you should learn it, we have 5 steps. Level 1 is the preparation. Before I can hit you with a punch, I must first touch you. So before I hit my backhand, for most people the right hand, I must first get some touch points with the lead hand. Because if I can't touch you, how do I want to reach you with the backhand? Okay? So once I touched you, I make a first attack. First attack means I come with long connected punches that fits back into level 4, because I must cover the distance. Then when you have a good opponent, he will punch back. Then you must train for a defense move, step 3. So step 3 defense. Then you come with close range punches, hooks, uppercuts, and then you exit again. And then you reset and reposition. And then you start again with feint attacks. You read the opponent, you create an opening with a feint, come with the first attack, make a defense, come with the second attack, and exit. And that's the frame you must learn in shadow boxing, control it, and make it flow without thinking subconsciously. Once you can do it in shadow boxing, then let's go. We go to hit the pads, we hit the bags. Once you learn the distance on the back, on the pads, then we go in light sparring. And we try to use it in a safe environment. Once you can use it in a safe environment, then fucking go and beat the shit out of everybody in the gym if you want at the same level. But if you don't have the foundation step by step, it's just simple, stupid. And like I said, I took a lot of fucking risk and I almost died multiple times in my life. So better be smart about it. Trust me. Be smart about it. Have some IQ. It's very important, fight IQ. Floyd Mayweather never lost. Have some IQ. Take the smart approach. Now you know it. Try to learn it like that.
Floyd's one of those guys, he's not all beat up. He's not fucked up in the head.
Smart, and makes the most amount of money.
That's
how I want
money.
to be.
Yeah.
Least amount of input, less risk, maximum results.
Well, I'd say for Floyd, he has maximum input, but in the right way, and he's just trained himself so well that he hasn't taken those risks because he's been so good, so well trained. Yes. And I like the way you talk about it, man, because in my head, it's always been boxing, you just need to be tough. Like boxing, it's all about getting broken down and built back up. But yeah, I've probably taken some pretty bad head damage sparring that way. And I noticed that even after my fight camp, or during my fight camp and afterwards, I couldn't think properly.
So stupid, huh?
My mind wasn't working. I couldn't do my work. I was just purely training because it took so much out of the tank.
And the problem, because I watched you fight, the problem just is you haven't practiced level 6 active defense. If you would have known how to counter every fucking punch, you would interrupt the opponent once he attacks.
Yeah.
But you didn't knew how to subconsciously counter. So you took hit and hit and hit and hit and hit. But remember a version of Jack where you would train the right stuff, where you would knew the right hand, a counter like this. and he throws it, you go boom, boom. Slip uppercut. Imagine a version when the hook comes, you go roll uppercut. You have it implemented into your training.
You know what it is, man? You just have to drill that stuff
Yes.
over and over and over and over again.
And you need to know what kind you should drill.
Yes.
Because again, if you drill the wrong things, but your footwork is off,
Yeah.
you build it on a wobbly foundation, and at some point you will fall. That's why it's important to have the feedback loop. Again, you need to do the right things, analyze it, if it's right, what's wrong, and you need to have the accountability to do it for long enough period of time. That's the free part of becoming a good fighter, but also that's the free part of becoming a chess master. You need to have the strategies how to play chess. You need to analyze it, why you won or why you lost, and you need to play consistently.
Yeah.
Same in sales. You need to say the right words at the right time. If I come with the offer without getting the problems, do I get the sell?
Nope.
Why then we train wrong martial arts with the wrong frame? It's always the same. If I do the sales call and I close 3 and I lose 8, would it be smart to analyze why I closed this 3 and why I lost this 8? Would it be smart?
No.
No. Would it be smart to analyze it? Why?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if not, you still continue to have the 3-to-8 ratio. But now, for example, my last 6 sales calls, I closed everybody. Because I analyzed myself, why do people buy and why not? What can I improve? And now I know. Now it's fucking easy. If you want to become a good martial artist, you have money from a program, you buy. Simple. I know exactly. I know what to say, when to say.
You know what I think the problem is in the martial arts industry with the traditional way of coaching is that they don't have enough buy-in to the student to train them in this way. So for my coaches for my fight, there's nothing wrong with my coaches. They're really good coaches, right? But they just don't have the buy-in. There's not enough money there in the way that industry's set up in hourly training. They can't sit down and take you through 8 steps because then they suddenly seem boring and people don't understand that they need to learn that stuff. So they take you straight to the interesting stuff, pad, sparring, let's get into it. You feel like you're doing something and they've only got an hour of their time to give you.
But that comes back to the mission. Do I do it for the money to have as many clients at the same time and to work all day? Or do I have it to teach you really something? Do I want to have 100 students who never learned something properly? Or do I want to have 5 students who learned it properly and want to fight? I want to have the second. I don't want to spread my attention. I work with a few clients, very intense. And if I start with you, we start fully. I don't want to invest. I don't want your fucking money. If you train 1 week and then you stop. Go to somebody else. If you train with me, if you say you train with Fight Gecko, I will make sure that you grow and that you become a good fighter and that you fucking know what you're doing. And guess what? Everybody who starts with me has exactly amazing results. And it doesn't matter if you're a complete beginner. You will not become a pro fighter after 3 months, for example, but you become 10 times better. If you're intermediate, you become 10 times better. If you're a professional at my level, I send you to Montana. Trust me, you will become 10 times better. He's the craziest motherfucker I ever fought in boxing, right? There are levels to the game. And again, I'm very good at human psychology. I know how to coach people. I know how to analyze people. I don't need to prove to anybody something. So I know exactly what you need. And I give you exactly what you need in the right situation. That's why you grow with me.
Have you studied CUS?
CUS, Tamoto? No, not really.
No. How do you talk to your fighters when they are training for a fight? And what sort of stuff do you think about in terms of fight psychology and its impact on winning a fight?
Look, it's very straightforward. You have 2 hands, right? I have 2 hands. Both of us can throw 6 punches. Straights, hooks, uppercuts. Then at the end of the camp, for example, Alan, the very successful entrepreneur, $100 million net worth, we had 3 fights, he had 3 wins. And always at the end in fight camp, I tell him, did we train what you should do? Did we train the 5-step process, how to attack? Yes. Did we train the strategy when you should do what? Did we train what you should do when the jab comes? Yes. Did we train what you should do when the right hook comes? Yes. So basically, are we prepared for everything? Yes. Why you should be afraid? We are prepared for every fucking thing which happens. I don't think we are prepared for everything. We have every scenario. That's what I mean about smart training. This happens, you do this. When this happens, you do this. And when this happens, you do this. If the objection comes in sales, because you have a sales coaching program, I have no time. Then you should next time ask before, do you have 2 hours time for that? Boom.
Problem solved.
It's very easy if you know how. It's very easy if you are prepared.
So you've just set up basically a system to cover all bases so that when a fighter does go into a fight, they don't have as much nerves. And of course, we're always going to have a bit of nerves because it's good in fighting, brings us up to that high level, but too much. If there's too many variables, like for me, going into the fight, I just didn't have the answers to any of those questions.
Look, there are many, many levels. And again, if I always make the transition to business, I now make my 30, 50 grand a month. You make your few 100K a month. Then is Ellen, he makes, my client, he makes 3-4 million a month. And there are some sheikhs who make 100 million, a billion a month, right? There are different levels to it. But now it comes. Where are most people of the population? 99% didn't even had a single training. Then we take the 1% who train. 99% don't train consistently. Then we take the 1% of the 1% of the 1% who want to have their first fight. So it's basically 0.001%. And then it's the first fight. And then you start with me and you get my knowledge. Do you think you have to be afraid about anything? Because that's knowledge basically from the top of the top of the top fighters, how really the best people train. And I don't say by far I'm the best coach because I never won Olympia, for example. But I'm in the team, for example, with the best fighter from Austria. So I'm very confident to say that we are amongst the best coaches, but we don't fight in Olympia. I train fucking millionaires to have their first fight. So we have the best strategy by far against some random dude training with a $50 an hour coach. So if you think objectively, there is nothing to be afraid of course you will. But at this level, with this knowledge, it just, I don't know. You're somewhere in India, everybody works for $20 a month, and you found a hole of gold. And you just, there is no comparison.
No.
There is no competition in this level with this knowledge, right? And so just one more thing. The mission is really to bring professional, high-level fight IQ training and strategies, which saves your brain cells, which is important for entrepreneurs.
Because you need them.
Yes, to bring it into an amateur level, that you have such an edge over your opponents, that you're confident to prove yourself, to build the respect, and every man, in my opinion, should have a fight at some point, because it does something with a character. It will just benefit yourself, and if it benefits yourself, it benefits your life. So to bring all this professional knowledge into an easy to understanding system, which is also easy to do with our 20 minutes a day shadowboxing system. So you can learn all that, for example, with just 20 minutes a day, 6 times a week, 2 hours a week. Do you have 2 hours a week to level up your character, to know how to defend your woman if somebody attacks you, to know how to be the man for your future child, for your future, the man in the family? Do you have 2 hours? I think that's a very smart investment to have.
I think so as well. How important is shadowboxing to boxing?
For me, shadowboxing is everything. And there I have again a story. I was 26, the fact period. I went 2 years or 1.5 years. I did just shadowboxing. I never met anybody. I never hit a bag. I just moved by myself. Then I went to Marbella, made some money with my agency. Boom, I could travel again. There was a business meeting. Okay, let's put all the money all in. We go there, business meeting. And there was then this sparring from my community, from the war room, I can say it. There was this war room sparring. And they had a fight next week. And this was my first sparring after 1.5 years. And crazy as I am, it was Marbella, high life. I landed in the club the night before. So I came home fucking 5 a.m. with a chick, and then we had some fun. I went to sleep at 7. Training was at 9. So I slept 1 hour and I was laying in my bed and I said, Fabian, you're such an idiot. Now you would have the time to prove yourself to the people. Now you show up still drunk. You will now not perform and you fuck your chance up. It was my first sparring after 1.5 years. Now it comes. I went into the ring with these people. They couldn't hit me, brother. I didn't have sparring for 1.5 years. And they had a fight camp. They had a fight on the weekend. They couldn't fucking hit me. And that's where I realized that shadowboxing is everything. Because that's what I told you before. Where you position yourself is most important. How you can position yourself is most important. The way, what patterns you have. And patterns are movement patterns. Most people are just, if I can move, different patterns, if I understand my balance, if I see things, if I practice it over and over again, opponents won't hit me. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
Even though they had fight camp, they couldn't hit me, and they counterpunched that, and I didn't want it even to hurt them. They were running into my punches, started bleeding on the nose. And that's also where basically my coaching evolved, because I had to fly back home next day, And I knew these people have a fight in 5 days. And from one round of sparring, I saw all their mistakes. What the hell are you doing? You can't go like this in a fight. And then I had the video, and I brought them back the video analysis. That's how the feedback loop evolved. By helping these people, by getting scared that they get fucking fucked in a ring. So I took time for free, didn't charge. There was no product there. And gave them a feedback back, screen recording. Brother, look here. You can't overextend here. You can't hit your right hand if you never had a touch point. You shouldn't throw a kick if you never prepared it with a punch. And all these small things I teach them. It was basically Professor Adam for the real world. It was Arno. Yeah, for these two people I did it. And then I got amazing feedback back. Amazing thank you. Brother, thank you so much. Both won the fight. Then also, not just because of me, obviously they're the fight camp, but I think just the fight IQ, these things I told them, they approached the fight completely different. And if they wouldn't use the tips, they would have done the wrong things. And maybe they exposed the energy, the battery goes down, they get countered. But yeah, that's basically how everything evolved.
How much should a person be training in a fight camp?
In a fight camp, we have normally 10 to 12 trainings. But again, I think most people are by far not in the fight camp. But it depends again on your person, on your personality. A fighter should be ready to fight any days. I'm ready to fight now if I want. Obviously, I don't want to get some profession with 10-0. I don't have the condition. But I'm ready to fight if somebody attacks me all the time. I'm ready always, and I keep the training. Again, lowest standards. Gotcha. But in a fight camp, normally you have different sessions. You have red sessions, very hard. You have yellow sessions. Then you have green sessions, regeneration sessions. And depending on, again, on yourself, on your physique, on your expertise, you mix that many red with yellow, with green sessions. You mix that many strength conditioning sessions with that boxing session, with that pad session. It's very individual. And I cannot say do this, because that would be, again, bad coaching, because everybody's an individual.
Gotcha.
And everybody needs different.
When your fighter, let's say, for example, your fighter feels super exhausted coming up into his fight camp, when is it more advantageous to rest rather than train? Or should you push through and train again?
That again fits back into the weeks at which level you are.
Okay.
So especially before few weeks or one week before the fight, you never want to be exhausted. You want to feel very fresh. So it goes like this, right? You push up, you build your condition up, boom, and then you relax yourself, and through this relaxation you get the next spike, right? So obviously, if you get to 0%, imagine you have a fight, and this happened also to Alan. And one example, we put him running. He needed conditioning. After 2 weeks, he can't fucking run. His calf just simply wouldn't let him run because he was 33. It was his first professional fight, and you need running, you need conditioning. He couldn't run. So what did we do? Instead of forcing him to run, no, we are a professional fight, you must run. We switched to the bike. And if he can't move his knee or whatever, we go to swimming. You see, we don't think about the training itself. We think about the result we want to achieve. We need conditioning. You can't move with your knee. Fucking, I don't know, do something with your arms for the conditioning. We find a solution. But you see, we think and that's again in business also very important. Most people think linear. I think in systems. First principles, second principles, third principles. Why do we do what we do? And if that doesn't work, is it smart that we continue doing it, which destroys him? No. So we want to have a result. We want to have highest peak at fight day. And obviously, we always are perspicacious. We analyze, we ask questions. How does it work?
And that's what people never do.
Of course not.
They don't analyze
of course not.
Anything. And that's how I became good at speaking in YouTube.
I watch also every fucking podcast because I learned English 4 years ago from Tate videos. I couldn't speak English.
It's amazing.
I Googled every fucking word. I analyzed every fucking speech. And you see, still by far I have not perfect English, but I can now communicate.
It's amazing.
4 years for nothing.
It's crazy. Ah, so
it's my
awesome.
third language.
Third language?
Third language. From Romanian, German.
And English?
English now.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Bilingual or trilingual.
Again, lowest standards. 4 years ago, when I was broken down, I don't want to be in my fucking city anymore and speak this language. I wanted to create a new fucking Fabian, a completely different person. So to create a completely different person, I must speak another language. So my lowest standard was, first of all, TV out of the fucking shit. Everything I watch is education.
Yeah.
First standard. Second standard, every education will be English. Third standard, every fucking word I don't understand will be Googled up. And that's how I now speak English and now have an English personal brand.
That's incredible. You're big on education, same as me. I've learned nearly everything that I know from books and online education and courses and mentorships. I'm constantly learning. what are 3 of your favorite books and things that you've learned from? Real life changers. You think about any?
Yeah, books, Principles from Ray Dalio. It teaches you how to think, systemized, system thinking. There is the 48 Laws of Power, of course, to understand psychology. And one thing is understand humans. Maybe I stick to this one. This is the biggest lesson. We are all humans. We are biological. So we have the physical thing, but we are also the emotional thing. So if you understand humans, you get everything you want. Because if I want to have a podcast with Jack, I must somehow convince you or subconsciously persuade you that you invite me here. Right? I didn't have planned it that I come, but at some point you came, Fabian, let's do a podcast.
Yeah.
Somehow I made that feeling in yourself that you invite me to the podcast. Because I learned specific things, how to behave with humans, that I get likable and that I get these opportunities. Okay? And now it comes to become, and also it's also in relationships. How many of you want to have a beautiful woman? Everyone. Why is it that most people, I don't say it's us, have all the beautiful women, and some people jerk off for 5 years and never have one? Because we understand, again, human. And now it comes. If I want to understand how I get this opportunity with him, or how I get the woman, what do I need to understand first? Because if I don't understand how I function, how should I understand how the woman thinks, how Jack thinks, how I get opportunities? And now it comes again. How should I understand myself if I don't do the hard things, if I can do the training? If I'm afraid to do something which men do, to go into training? You see, everything fits back into the hardship of martial arts. Everything fits back into the philosophy. Find yourself through martial arts. Do the hard things. Become a man from the inside. Don't be this cocky motherfucker I was and build some outside shape. And even though if you have the Lambo and have the six-pack and have the muscles, deep inside you know you're somehow still a pussy. That's just how most people are. And that's why most people pay me good money to teach them that. And that's the people I respect. They have 3 girlfriends, 3 Lambos, 10 million in the bank, and then they start, Fabian.
Still humble enough to ask.
Boom, that's the people I like, and that's the people I want to surround it with. And there are these other guys, fat belly, have chicks, but are cocky and nobody likes them and they buy their friends. That's what I don't want to be. I would never change with them just because he has the money or better girlfriend or better car. No, bro. You must live with yourself for the whole life. The only person you must hang around with 24/7 is yourself. And you're knowing if you're lying to yourself or not. And again, brother, get to know yourself better through martial arts, educate yourself, but most important, really, start training. Start training martial arts. It will discover something inside of you which I can't explain with words, which really, truly, I wouldn't be here if I wouldn't have martial arts. I would probably won't be on this earth anymore. It saved my life from the bottom of my heart. It saved my life, and I don't want you to suffer like I did, and probably you won't because I suffered a lot. But no matter how well you do, trust me, if you implement the martial arts training, you get a 5x on everything you have right now.
100%. I agree with you. It's changed my life as well. When I was in my lowest point in my life, which was probably similar to yours, I was doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I didn't have a job. And I was super anxious, and I'd taken loads of drugs and alcohol, and I was very bad mentally. I couldn't go outside of my house. And the thing that turned my life around was signing up for an MMA fight and learning and winning my first MMA fight. And that's what changed my life. And it's one of the things I wish I'd stuck with, like you have, for 10 minutes a day, because I'd be so good. Because I started at 21. I'm 20, about to turn 26.
Exponential thing I told you. You would be exponential,
but I've been doing fucking 110% and then 0%, and then 110%. Hurt myself, fuck myself up.
But 0%. Still, it made a lot with your character, because I think I know people, and I fucking love you, bro. I don't know you that well. We don't know each other that well, but even we have the fucking same clothes.
Yeah, we wore the same clothes.
We didn't knew.
We didn't decide that. We just happened by accident.
He came down, I came with my jogger, we went in the pool, I changed, he changed, we come down, we have the same thing. So you see, similarities attract, and people you respect and you like are people who went through hardship and who know they are the men who don't need to show off, and Jack is some of them. I am one of them. I think I am one of them.
Yeah, I see that in Fabian.
It's very rare.
Yeah.
It's very rare.
Someone that's comfortable in themselves.
Yes.
And you get that through martial arts. And I haven't found another way that gives you that. Money doesn't give you that. business doesn't give you that. It
Money
gives
is
you
an
more
amplifier.
ego, actually.
It's an
Yes,
amplifier.
yes.
If you're a stupid person with much money, you're a completely idiot. If you're a good guy, try to be good. That's also my reason I want to become rich. Yeah. Obviously, I want to buy a Lambo. I want to buy a mansion at some point. But the reason is my mission would be so much stronger, and your mission to really spread the message of martial arts to create a better man, to create a better world. Is I need money, I need more attention, I need more manpower. That's why I want the money. It's the mission is not myself, the mission is higher than myself, and that's also another advice. Always put the end goal not in just yourself. Don't be that selfish. Have a bigger vision to make the world better. And that's a nice goal. And search for a goal which never ends. Don't say, I want to have 1 million in one car. You have it, you get depressed. Trust me. Don't put the power in outside things. But have a mission which never ends. A big game and just work towards it.
Just keep getting better and better. Keep growing. And I like to have a life that is livable every day. Something that is not going to make me exhausted. Everybody lives a life they need a vacation from. How do we make a life that we don't need to leave? Which is one thing I would challenge you on slightly, because I know how you live your lifestyle, and you live your lifestyle Monday to Friday to you need that release on the weekends. What if there was a way to build your life so any day of the week you could do it non-stop forever, the way you live your life, the money you make, your whole thing. Every day you could live this life and you go, fuck, this is perfect.
And that's a beautiful thing, because I know that it can work, and I build my vision in my mind and I work towards it. So that's what I'm saying. I see myself at 0.1% that I can be. And I see my flaws and I accept the flaws and I listen to you and I try to implement it. Still, it doesn't work from 100 to 80, but with small standards, I try to change it. And I see this version and I work towards this version. That's fine.
For you, I know we talked about the whole, and a big part of my channel, but we kind of have the same philosophy. I want to change men's life through a culmination of things: mindset, martial arts, fitness, money, women, the whole lot. And you're very similar to me. One of those things that really helped me change my life and was stealing a lot of my energy was alcohol. And for you, I know you still drink alcohol, but you seem to deal with it a lot better than I do. And I really can't drink alcohol. It's very rare that I drink alcohol because of what it does to my mind. Have you spent any time sober before?
Yes.
Totally sober?
Yes.
And how was that?
That was the 2021 life.
Yeah.
And that's why it's very tricky with me. But that was when I started with training.
Yeah.
That periods of first, 2 weeks, then I fell back, then I got 4 weeks, I fell back. And then I was in this situation where I just had money, business, money, business, no people, no fun. And I became successful, but I didn't enjoy my life. So that's somehow tricky about me. Is it really my subconscious mind? Do I really love it? But bro, I just enjoy it. I just love to work 4 or 5 days. I help people. I just love to go fucking out and do crazy shit. And if I don't do it, I feel... And I told you, my philosophy now is really do good to all the people, but still I don't give a fuck. I do whatever I want. And that's the beauty that I can do it. And I don't want to close myself into something. If I want to go fucking out today, after my business meetings at 9 p.m., I slept last night 2 hours, this night 4 hours, worked all day yesterday until 4 a.m., come to the podcast, have meetings all day. I go fucking out. I want to do it. I just want to do it. Is it good or bad? I just want to do it and I do what I want. And I think that's the beauty that I can do it. And say from a good heart, I just want to do it. And at some point, I will get maybe more mature, and maybe it will stop. But I don't want to restrict myself. And I tried, and I wasn't. It's not about happiness, but it was. Where is the fun, bro?
Would you go out without alcohol?
I did, but I like to drink.
But it's not fun, right?
Yeah, it's more fun. It's more fun drinking.
Yeah, of course, it's more fun drinking. But that is arguably in my head, it's more fun. Of course, it's more fun drinking, and there's other stuff that's more fun than drinking, and and obviously those things are fun. But in my head, I don't like to do things that I wouldn't do sober. So for me personally, I wouldn't go to the club sober. I wouldn't see certain types of women sober. I try to live a life where I don't need something to bring me up. I like to live a life where the things I'm doing day to day, I enjoy stone cold sober, and I also like my suffering raw. Give me my suffering and let me think about myself. And if on the weekend I'm not happy because of the way my week was, rather than allowing myself to relax with alcohol and enjoy my weekend, give me my suffering of the weekend where I feel pain from my week, and let me try and figure out for next week how I make the week not so painful that I need the weekend to relax.
I totally agree with it. And in my whole life as a youth, I went to drink to run away from my life. And again, I can cope myself right now, but I love music, I love dancing, and I love to lose my mind. I don't know. I'm very obsessive. I don't say I have a stressful life right now. I am very busy.
Yes.
It's very, be aware how you talk to yourself.
Yeah.
So I don't say I'm stressed, but I'm busy. And I just love to shut my mind off and lose my mind. And that's what I do. It's my form of meditation and take away from everything. Just forget everything. Is it right? Probably not. But I don't do it to run away from my problems or from the life I hate. I love my life and I love the work. It's just a pause. How I can stop thinking about business, for example. Just drinking, good music, dancing, enjoying life. And then, boom, next day I go back to my normal life. And I see it over and over in very successful entrepreneurs somehow. Yeah. Is it right? I know, probably not. But the craziest guys have always the shadow side. You work like a motherfucker, makes hundreds of millions of dollars. The weekend they'll go crazy. And I agree. I don't want to do. I am more of the Fabian when I'm drunk. I'm more happy. I dance more. I have more energy. I help more people.
Does the Fabian that drinks on the weekend, when he then goes on to Monday, is he less of the Fabian he was because he used up more Fabian on the weekend? Because I'm more Jack when I'm fucking drinking. Like I am 10x what I am now. Yeah. I'm better.
Agree. It takes your energy for sure.
But for a week after, I'm not me. And I've upset my energy. I feel I'm untouched with my balance.
Look, the thing is, no matter what I talk right now, the way you see yourself is never the way other people see you. That's again, it goes very deep and spiritual. But there is no one Fabian, there is not one Jack. Basically, there are 7 billion Jacks and 7 billion Fabian. Why? Because everybody's mind have a different perception about us. So me not telling what Fabian is just how me with my mindset, with my past thoughts, see how I am.
But that's okay, because that's what I want to know. It's just how you feel about yourself and the way it affects you in your life. And do you perceive it as, if you were to look at it, just how you look at it, on a Monday when you turn up after partying, is there an element of you on that Monday that thinks, I kind of wish I hadn't done that on the weekend? Or do you think, I'm happy I did that? No, I love it.
I wake up and said, what a fucking crazy night. Go back to work. That's the point. I just love it.
Keep doing it. I love it. Keep doing it, my man.
I love it.
For me, it was not work for me.
Yeah, if you don't like it, don't do it.
I just can't do it. I wish I could, and it's kind of maybe why I'm trying to convince you not to do it, because I'm jealous that I can't do it. And a part of me is that I'm good at partying. I'm really good at it. But for me, it has such a heavy impact on my mental health that I cannot do it for some reason.
Always, it's relationship, friendship. If I make your life better and you make my life better, we are friends. If the woman makes my life better, I make her friend. We become friends. If I see going out makes my life better than not going out, I do it. You see how But that's the point. If I stay at home 3 weeks and don't go out, I want to fucking go out. So it makes my life somehow...
If you just go out without drinking.
Let's try. Let's try it.
Maybe experiment.
We tried.
Let's experiment it a little bit. And just see one weekend, right? Go out, do exactly Fabian as you. Pretend that you're drunk and you've had a drink, but don't drink, and do Monday the same, and just see how you feel about Monday and how the flow of the week goes. Exactly. There we go. And also on the weekend, maybe because if you haven't had a drink, you can come and play. Do you play paddle? It's a racket sport.
We play together.
You can come play paddle with me and our team in the house. Because that's one of the biggest things I got back from not having my weekend in the evenings going out, was that I got to enjoy my day in fitness, and it's really my favorite thing to do. Physical sport and activity with good friends where endorphins are flowing. We've played sport together. Now let's go and have a nice lunch together or a nice dinner, meet girls, meet other people. But for me, just the alcohol gave me this fake boost that then ruined me for days afterwards. So we'll do an experiment.
We'll do it, bro.
We'll see.
We'll do it. I try many things and I listen and I try a lot of stuff. And I always ask myself, is it right what I'm thinking? So I know everything is basically a scam. My whole version and perception of me is also a scam, because whatever I think about me is somehow true. So you must be very careful what you think about. That goes again, very deep shit. But yeah, I try to learn and see and get feedback, and I know that I shouldn't trust my mind too much. And listen to the people I look up to, and I can learn something from. And obviously, I can learn something from you.
And I've learned from you that I absolutely need to do 20 minutes of shadowboxing a day.
We will do it. We will talk.
Yeah, because that's one of the things I can't even do. Really, shadowboxing, I feel like a fucking awkward idiot.
We will talk after my meeting because actually now I have the call with the new elite guy. Should I push it back? Or
No, it's all good. Fabian's got a meeting now. An absolute pleasure to have you on, brother. And I'm sure these guys have got a lot of value from you. I have. And it's been very interesting conversation. Where can the guys go and find you?
Fight Gecko, Instagram, and inside the new elite. And
inside
also
the new elite.
Inside my new network, which I'm launching soon, the Elite Fight Network, where entrepreneurs come together who fight. So they are not the pussy entrepreneurs with just money. They are the entrepreneurs who can fight and have money. It's launching soon, maybe. Yeah, find it on my Instagram.
And what about your YouTube?
My YouTube will start on fucking Tuesday. That's true. 10 minutes a day.
I think the YouTube should start today, personally.
10 minutes a day. He must start with the training.
Yeah.
I must fucking start with YouTube.
Okay, you do YouTube videos. I'll do I have to do 20 minutes or I can do 10?
We can do 10. We can talk after.
We'll start with 10.
We just do something.
Awesome.
And even if I do maybe just 2 minutes, I did the video.
Yeah.
Okay? Lowest standards.
As long as the video comes out each day, it's okay.
Let's go.
Yeah, just something has to come out and you get to see Fabian's lessons as he grows himself, and I think it's a really nice thing to do.
To sum it up, just my last tip, any skill, martial arts, sales, money, woman, doesn't matter. It comes to 3 things. Do the right things, review the things, and have somebody who keeps you accountable. If you have these 3 points in place, then you can achieve everything the fuck you want. Trust me, everything. If I fucking made it, you can do it by far. I'm a very big idiot, trust me. Okay, thank you, brother.
Awesome, man. Thank you for coming on. See you guys on the next one.